Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be playable in native 4K only on the Xbox One X.
But how will it fare against the PS4 version?
Hot take. As many of you know, Red Dead Redemption 2 is not going to be available on the PC or the Switch. So that means there's only two platforms that you'll be able to play it on. And those platforms are the Xbox One
and the PS4, of course.
Yes. Now you can also play it on the PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox One X.
Yes.
And it sounds like the Xbox One X is going to be the place you're going to want to play it the most. Apparently, on that platform, you're going to get a native 4K experience, where on the PlayStation 4 Pro, you're going to get a checkerboarded PlayStation 4.
Is that how to visualize checkerboard?
Yeah. The PlayStation 4 Pro does the checkerboarded experience. We've seen this before. It doesn't look terrible.
Yes.
It doesn't look as good as a native 4K image. But one thing that's for certain, the highest resolution you're going to get is going to be on an Xbox One X.
Yeah, so the Xbox One X version, like, I have just one question right out of the gate.
Sure.
So not a lot of people, people are buying up 4K TVs nowadays.
Yes.
Not a lot of people have them yet. What's the point of getting an Xbox One X and this version of the game? Like, will this sell a bunch of Xbox One X's if people don't have the TVs to back them up?
See, that's the
Do you
question,
know what I mean?
right?
That's one question. There's several questions today.
Now, before we begin diving into this, folks, you got to understand, you may not care too much personally about Red Dead Redemption because maybe you don't care too much about Westerns.
Yes.
But that company that's making it, Rockstar, the last game they released was massive. Grand Theft Auto 5 is just huge.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto 5 is the biggest piece of consumable media of all time.
Yeah. Think about that. That is intense. Okay.
Yeah.
They've sold so many copies, and to this day, they are still on the top sales for every single month.
Yeah, they sold 95 million copies as of May 2018 of Grand Theft Auto 5. This game has made billions of dollars.
The game originally transitioned over from the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 and
right.
PC. Those two versions of the game are a little bit different. They're not exactly the same, but you got to keep in mind, what we saw back then was a video game that was mostly limited by the technology of its predecessor consoles. So now what you're getting is a game that is tailored and specifically created with new consoles in mind. This isn't coming out on the 360, this isn't coming out on the PS3, and it's not coming out on the Switch, which means nothing about this is going to be downgraded in any way. This is a modern console game with a version that is going to be on the Xbox One X that is going to surpass visually its other competitor in the market, which is the PlayStation 4 Pro. Now, as Adam stated, there's not a lot of people out there that are buying PlayStation 4 Pros and Xbox One X's that don't have 4K screens. Maybe there's some out there that are, but are you going to see that big of a difference? Well, from my own personal experience, yes. I think you're going to see one because you get super scaling. So essentially what happens is if you take a 4K image and you kind of compress it down on a 1080p screen, you're not going to get that exact same high quality image, but it's going to look like anti-aliasing is turned on. I've done this personally with a couple of games on my PC. I've run them at super high resolutions, brought them back down to my normal resolution on my monitor, and it makes everything look a lot more crisp and a lot more clean. Now, with that being said, is this something that a lot of gamers are going to go out and do?
Right.
Adam, would you do this?
So here's the thing. Rockstar Games, they have the Rage engine, right? Which they've been tweaking for, seems like forever, right?
Since, it really does,
Since before 2010. I think since the, maybe 2006 or 7?
It was that one game.
Table tennis?
Table tennis. Yeah, but I know that sounds apparently a very good game.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is that it's a game engine that Rockstar is very, very familiar with, and we're seeing this game in the gameplay videos that we've seen in trailers. It looks spectacular.
Oh my,
right?
Yeah, folks, the gameplay, you're probably going to be seeing a couple frames here.
Right.
This is crazy good looking. I mean, wonderful graphic assets, lots of visual
lighting,
stuff.
fog, the foliage. This is the largest Rockstar game in so many ways, so many facets, right? So a game like this, I feel like you do want to play it on the most powerful machine that you can. If you had a PC and this was coming to PC, that would be the thing that you'd play it on. But we don't have that.
I remember when I was playing this originally when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, I noticed that there was frame rate drops every so often. It's been a little bit, I think it was more consistent on the 360 than it was on the PS3, but it was a noticeable issue. It was something that you would pay attention to and see every so often. When we got to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, we saw a far more consistent frame rate but it was still 30 frames per second and it wasn't at 60. I didn't see that game playing at 60 frames per second until I got it on the PC. But boy, even then, Grand Theft Auto 5 takes a lot to run. My computer, which is a pretty decently spec computer, it still can't run Grand Theft Auto 5 at top settings. And that's pretty crazy for what the game is and how old it is. So to know that this game, which is being tailored specifically to this, I don't think we're getting a 60 frame per second gameplay.
No, I don't think so
Yeah,
either.
I think it's 30.
Yeah.
But is it going to be a much more consistent 30 on an Xbox One X compared to the PlayStation 4 Pro, compared to the PlayStation 4 and the original Xbox One?
There's a lot to dig in here, because I was kind of I want to look into the past of Red Dead Redemption to see kind of how the first game fared. Because actually, Shane, there's a lot of similarities between sort of the battle that went on between consoles then that we're kind of thinking about right now. So the 360 version was a better resolution than the PS3 version. It came in at 720p, where the original Red Dead was 640p on the PlayStation 3. So there was that discrepancy in image quality, and the performance on the 360 was better. But there was still, like, the PS3 version still sold better than the Xbox 360 version.
Yeah, well,
so
I mean,
despite that, the higher quality of gaming, we did see better sales with the PS3.
There's like a billion different reasons why that could happen. Now, I know when people think of the fight between the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, everyone just assumes, the PS3 died. It didn't. At the very beginning, it struggled, but near the end of its lifespan, it actually matched really close to the 360.
So I looked into this. So when Red Dead Redemption came out, it was 2000. Oh, geez, it wasn't 2010. But when it was first released, I saw that the consoles were practically in parity as far as how many consoles to that date had been sold between the 360 and the PS3. The 360 had a touch of a lead on the PS3, but they were just about at the same point. Now, where things are still quite similar with the way that these two consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4, are duking things out, is that back then, Sony had made a deal with Rockstar to have a little more content in the PS3 version. So we're actually seeing that now with the Red Dead Redemption 2 PS4 version. They're getting more content. Not only that, but they're getting a bundled version with the game, whereas the Xbox One X is not. Rockstar has coupled with Sony on this specifically to, I guess, like entice people to come over to the PS4, which is scary, I think, because the PS4 right now has sold double the amount of consoles that the Xbox One has. So yeah, there's a lot of teeter-tottering here. You could get the higher graphic fidelity, but a lot of people already have a PS4, and there's a little bit, it's not even that much more content.
It comes down to, like, if you're going to play this game online, by the way, online's a big part of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Resident Evil. Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely going to have a big online presence.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, look, if you're going to be playing this, you're likely going to be playing it with the same system that your friends are playing.
That's right.
And they're more likely to have a PlayStation 4 than they are to have an Xbox One.
You know what, Shane? I think Sony knows this, and part of the sort of the kick-up that the folks will get for buying Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PS4 is online stuff. That is the little bullet point on the back of the bundle. There's online things that you'll be getting that I believe the Xbox One will be getting later. They haven't gone into specifics, but
sounds a bit like Call of Duty to me, because that's how Call of Duty managed to win over on the 360.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of consoles and developers and games, but they've been doing this for years, right? So yeah, if Microsoft wants to sell a lot of Xbox One X's, like I think they really need to jump on the, hey, look, no, this is the best looking, best playing version of Red Dead Redemption, and they have to get that message out yesterday.
I think like a big deal too is that the original Red Dead Redemption, if you're going to play that on a modern system right now, only one place to go. That's the Xbox One.
Yeah.
The original Red Dead Redemption did not get released on PC. Because of that, people still have to go back and play the older versions. You can play the original PS3 version on a PS3, can't play it on a PlayStation 4, but you can play Red Dead Redemption on an Xbox One. here's the cool part. If you play Red Dead Redemption, no matter what Xbox you have, let's just take the base model, and you play it on, you play the original game on an original Xbox One with backwards compatibility, the game runs at a more consistent frame rate than it did on the Xbox 360. But if you play it on an Xbox One X, you're going to get a massive resolution bump that puts it into 4K. Now, I know a lot of folks out there probably don't think that's such a big deal. I've seen the difference. It's a big deal. It looks incredible. The game looks fantastic at 4K resolution. So personally, I would just assume that anyone out there that's getting Red Dead Redemption 2 would likely get the first game for free on the Xbox. But I don't think we're hearing anything like that, which is shocking.
Wouldn't that be that would be a great way of them to really promote this? Is to say, hey, look, yeah, we're giving this away to you guys. Get ready, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be coming out on the Xbox One X. It's going to look better than our competitor.
Personally, I think as a pre-order offer, I think that would be the best way to go, because instead of actually having the games come out and then be like, oh, I better play the first one first,
I think because Rockstar's so in bed with Sony on this that deal cannot be made. I think a lot of money has exchanged hands just to make sure, because when a Rockstar game comes to a console now, it's the exclamation mark at the end of a console lifespan. That it's a system seller when systems should be kind of sort of dialing down maybe a little bit.
Oh sure, I hate to say this, folks, but whatever version of this game comes out today, or in the next couple of weeks, this version of the game is likely going to see an upgrade and an improvement on the next generation of consoles. If not, because remember, they're going to have to release a special edition at some point on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, but they may release a PC version. If they want to see the same success they've seen with Grand Theft Auto 5, they have to hit that.
Yes.
But keep this in mind, because this right here is the quintessential problem that I don't think a lot of gamers are thinking of. We're going to see huge spikes of sales, not just on the Xbox One. I believe we're going to see that, but I think you're going to see a huge increase in sales for the PlayStation 4 Pro, because a lot of gamers out there are going to want that little bit of an improvement, or whatever it is. So if that's going down, I think you're going to see something happen that I think folks are probably not expecting. I think the Xbox One, for just a little bit at least, is going to sell over top of the Switch for the first time in a long time.
The PS4.
No, the Switch.
Oh, on top of the Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Think about this, okay?
Absolutely.
The Xbox One needs some kind of software to sell it, right?
Yes.
And the Switch has constantly been getting some good games coming out, but a lot of them have been ports recently, and Nintendo really doesn't have anything planned for the next little bit. So, well, I guess Mario Party is their biggest title that's coming out soon.
Well, I mean, Smash, if they create more fervor.
Sure. And Smash is a big deal, right?
Huge deal.
But for this time period, we're talking about a game that way more people might be interested in playing, because Grand Theft Auto 5 has such a massive install base of so many gamers. It completely surpasses anything Nintendo has done. So if you're going to be playing this game and you can't play it on Switch, the only way to go is on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Now, on top of that, if people are going to want to get into this thing cheaply, I think it'd be in Microsoft's best interest and Sony's best interest to get a cheaper version of their console out quicker. So we did hear that, I think very recently, the PlayStation 4 is actually a little bit reduced in value recently. So then that's going to be a little bit cheaper on the market, because I think that these companies are starting to prep themselves into a position where, like, okay, this game's coming out, we got to be prepared. This isn't coming out on PC. We got to make as many sales as we possibly can today. We can't have this be delayed, because in the next couple of months, if Rockstar goes, oh, PC version coming out or whatever it is, then that's going to slow down the sales.
Sales are going to drop off exponentially. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Grand Theft Auto 5 became such a huge success on the PC after it was released. The sales were outstanding. So
this is a massive deal. I mean, I know that there's a lot of gamers out there that probably don't think that this is going to be something that's going to revolutionize the gaming industry, but folks, what Rockstar did with Grand Theft Auto 5 is unheard of. Nobody has done what they've done ever. They have a game that is available on all platforms but the Switch. And now that we're seeing their next game get released on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, not the PC, it makes you think, like, what is the next steps? What are they going to do? Are they going to be working on releasing Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Switch? A lot of people really want that, myself included. We know that they did LA Noire on the Switch, and does that mean that maybe we'll see this game eventually get released on maybe an upgraded version of the Switch down the road or something like that?
I think if it was released on the Switch, it's an opportunity for more people to dig in, especially if they have the online functionality to it. And yeah, again, like, hey, more money, they just open the door to a whole flood.
Right. Yeah, this is a very interesting idea here, but for the time being, and this is the thing, if there's an idea, if there's a hope that it comes out on the Switch, you better bet that Microsoft is going to be doing everything in their power to bring over sales to their system. This game is coming out in October. They've got November and December. They've got a whole bunch of holiday money coming in. This is a big deal. This game couldn't come out at a more opportune moment for these systems, and it likely is going to increase sales to such a degree that I don't think anyone is really considering just how impactful this is going to be.
Yes. So it's going to be exciting to see. It's exciting from every perspective, like for Rockstar and for the two major developers. Just kind of an endpoint, though. Who do you think's going to sell more copies of Red Dead Redemption 2? I'm kind of going with the PS4 version because that install base is there.
You know,
I like Microsoft needs to get a little bit more of their messaging out there. Look, HDR, well, the PS4 version has HDR as well, but the resolution's better. True 4K gaming, that not enough people are hearing that.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
Like, is this 4K thing really going to make an impact to people? I believe it will have an impact for gamers that approach it. But does that mean the Xbox One X version is going to be running at a consistent frame rate, or might it be reduced just to make that resolution? Right.
A lot of questions,
folks. What do you think? Do you feel that this is going to be a bigger impact on Xbox? Do you think this is going to be a bigger impact on the PlayStation 4? And do you think this is going to harm or benefit Nintendo? Let us know what you think in the contents below, which is comments, not contents. I said the wrong word. We're keeping this in, aren't we? Yeah, we are. That's happening.